Slowly. Okay, I think it worked. I think we're live.
I think we're live.
Hello. Let us know if there are any issues, but I think we should be good. Let me speed mute myself. Oh, got it. Okay. I had to pull it up and mute it when it showed up. Oh, wait, it didn't work. Hold on. Why can I hear myself? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, there we go. I
hear
figured it out. I fixed it. We're all good.
Cool. I'm glad.
Okay. Hello, Miles. Hello, Bavaria. Welcome. Okay. So it is Monday, which means we're doing more conlanging for Hello World language families.
Yay!
Plural. And we're totally
singular family. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Is that we're doing one family. And we have, in theory, loads of languages.
It's perfect. It's our simplified use case. Oh my gosh. Yes. And we're both mentally here and completely ready to focus, and we're not at all thinking about preparing for going to KopiCon at all.
Nothing of the sort at all.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
okay.
Let me pull up the love being mentally present. Exactly. All right, let's get some comments and let's get. Here we go. Okay. Tinguish says, slight dread creeping in. No dread. We are only here for excitement.
The thing is, is that conlanging for me doesn't prepare me for any of the things I'm worried about. I think the socializing with Maddie is more of the preparatory work, honestly.
Yeah. We're preparing to be the very best of friends, right? That's all we need.
Yeah.
That's all we need to do.
Well, at the very least, we can stick together.
True. True, and be like, awkward people.
Yeah.
It'll be great. Okay.
Okay. Do you want to... Oh, the cursed conlang videos. I hope that everyone who's preparing them is doing okay. Because I'll say, every time I've tried to do a cursed conlang, I think I instinctively reject it. And I just kind of like, no, I can't.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
I
distinguish being late isn't going to be unusual at KopiCon. I can tell you that.
Oh my gosh. But I do relate, though. I hate being late. It gives me significant amounts of, like, anxiety to be late to things. And when I don't know how to do things, I normally just compensate by being, like, 4 hours early to everything. So I'll just be, like, sitting on the street outside KopiCon, like, 3 hours early, like, I'm ready.
Well, Bib's someone who likes to be really early. I'm the terrible combination of I like to be early, but I'm so easily distractible that I quite often show late. Fair. Or I just end up running, and I'll run, and then I'll be early, a bit sweaty, and I'll regret being sweaty the entire time. I'm honestly kind of glad that Scotland will be a bit chilly. It would just mean everything's nice and cool, and it means that I should be okay to just wear loads of layers on the plane, which means that I don't have to put so much in my bag.
Yes. I'm very excited for the 20 to 30 degree temperature drop, Fahrenheit.
Saying it means absolutely nothing. Like, if the temperature here dropped 30 degrees, it would go from the hottest temperature in summer to like not the lowest, but almost the lowest in winter. And for everyone who says that Fahrenheit makes it easier to tell what the temperature will actually feel like, it doesn't work like that. If you're used to degrees C, you just know. Like this
Okay.
is what
So
13's like.
it's
Anyway.
like going from an average of 24 to 30 degrees Celsius to like not even 13.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I did that like last week because I went from Portugal where it was like 28 during the day to
Mhm.
here where it's like 15.
Yeah.
So I do know.
Yeah.
um, yeah, I can imagine it's harder going from Fahrenheit to Celsius and Celsius to Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Although I feel like anything that isn't, I'm like, so what's 0 Fahrenheit and what's 100 Fahrenheit?
I mean, 0 Fahrenheit, like in Celsius?
Yeah. Well, because if you,
Negative 18 almost and 38 almost.
huh? Because you know, for Celsius, it's like boiling point of water and
Yeah.
freezing point.
Yep. And in Fahrenheit, it's how percent hot do we feel? 50 degrees Fahrenheit is I'm 50% hot out there. It's 50% hot outside. So it's
It's just
going from like 75% hot to like 50% hot.
it's like when people here tell me about how they used to have to calculate. I don't think my dad had to deal with shillings. Did my dad have to deal with shillings? There was a point in time when we used shillings and things and parts of a penny, and it just all sounds like I know it wasn't that long ago. Um, but my dad was alive during the decimalization period of the
Oh.
British currency. I think, unless I'm confusing two events. Um, so to me, it all sounds like olden times, but I know that it was within a generation. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I think we should start
I'm
talking
ready.
about language.
I'm ready.
Okay, so last time I'm just like violently scrolling.
I know, trying to remember what we were doing.
I think last time we were trying to work out the effects of the things you had labeled.
Yes.
We wrote up this first sound change, and I think I want to format it so that it's yeah. Okay. So, there are two sound changes that I had thought about, and I am curious what your thoughts are.
Okay.
So, we'll do letters because why not? So A is spirantization. Also, did I say I thought I said I was going to use that for a less bit of neutrality.
Hmm.
I will not spell color without a U. I can't bring myself to do something.
Okay. We're going
So
with the British Z.
spirantization is basically where, in the broader sense, it's when a stop consonant. You remember which stops are, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yes.
on there.
Mm.
Becomes a fricative,
Okay.
and um, so when you look at the inventory that we have,
Okay.
We have these three. Now the word that I need has completely left my head. I want to say realization, but that's not the specific word.
Okay.
I want to say you could argue they're like laryngeal. There will be George. George, I need George's PhD in linguistics brain to tell me what the word I'm looking for is. It's, no. Specifically, that there is a word for these three. I'm like laryngeal. I'm like laryngeal mode. No, that's sending me to medical stuff. Maybe it's not laryngeal. It's not articulation. It's this is like not what I was hoping to be doing right now. So basically, that the is it mana? Phonation.
Laryngeal.
Phonation. It was phonation all along. Yeah, laryngeal settings also worked. But yeah, I was thinking of phonation, which sounds like it could also be like a Vietnamese restaurant. But actually, only for me. No, not only for me, because I'm like, oh, there's an R, isn't there, in American English? I'm like, no, it's not for. And then I shouldn't try and do my rhotic accent because people will laugh at me, even though I'm only trying my best. Okay, so phonation. I actually don't remember what the technical distinction of this thing is. But basically, the larynx.
Okay.
Larynx looks like it should be a conlang word. It's. I'm like, I know it's part of the. Okay, it's the other. It's a fancy name for the voice box, basically. Right,
Yeah.
and it can do these like different things, and we like and different languages will use different laryngeal settings to distinguish certain consonants, and others they won't. So, for example, these three are all distinguished in Thai, but if you were to compare it with most languages, I think we'll often have two laryngeal settings for stops, but not always.
Okay.
Basically, if you're going to have a difference, you can have them either in the fricatives or the stops or both or neither. But it's more likely that you have them in the stops than the fricatives, basically.
Okay.
And where was I going with this? So it's kind of tricky to make generalizations about phonation because, for example, so we often talk about things in sound changes in terms of weak versus strong, or fortition versus lenition. So if something is weak and it gets stronger, it's fortition, and if it's strong and it gets weaker, it's lenition.
Okay.
But between these laryngeal modes, like, and this isn't true. Like, the problem is that, like, these generalizations are only true for as long as you're not aware of the example that counteracts everything. So, like, if you say, for example, that the aspirated pa is a weaker form of pa, which is true, I think, in Greek. So, and then this becomes F, whereas the tenuous P does not.
Okay.
Um, then you could say, oh, this is lenited, and it's going. And if you have a P that becomes aspirated and then becomes F, then that's like a chain of lenition.
Okay.
But in other languages, like in Quechua, this tenuous P is really weaker than the aspirated P. And this P will also encourage other effects that I think are generally associated with flirtation, whereas this P does not always. So basically, there's a bunch of possibilities. Um, uh,
Okay. So then do we need to decide will they be like one set I guess hierarchy of weakness and strongness for the seed language that we can decide how to mess it up, or could it change?
um, I mean, it's generally accepted that voicing is a kind of lenition.
Okay.
It's often about, if we say easier or harder to pronounce also. Um, so although that's more this is what really does get in my head, is that people at home, if you're listening to me, I am not I have 1 year of formal linguistics and I did it all in Spanish, so I do not remember all of the right words for everything immediately. Um, essentially, we have two things, right?
Mm,
So we don't want the to keep the three-way distinction, and the sub factor here is we should do something interesting
right. Multiple interestings, right?
with it.
For different ones? Or would it just be one for all of them?
You mean one sound change, or
Like for all the different daughter languages, like they can go in different directions, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
There will be opportunities to do different things with
Okay.
different sounds in different languages.
Okay.
And the other thing is that we want to get a, is it an F specifically, or are we going to say we want labial fricatives, which would be F and V, and another thing would be to get a well, I'm going to say a full fricative series. So
Okay.
A full fricative series would basically mean that if you see on the table here, we have all of these empty boxes, right?
Yes.
Um, so this would mean that we would fill in the gaps basically with some kind of sound change. So if we're particularly saying we want F, like you could do an isolated sound change that turns aspirated P into F quite easily.
Okay.
But that wouldn't necessarily mean that the aspirated consonants at other positions would do the same thing. So if I'm remembering correctly, in Marathi, for example, if I said, what do you know about Marathi? Because I'm going to treat this as a learning moment. Okay, so I'm going to say nothing.
Yes, this was the 0.
Okay, Marathi is an Indo-Aryan language. Which means that it's related to Hindi, although not super. If I say not super closely, it's more closely related to Hindi than like English, but it's further away from some other languages.
Okay.
Because it's from the southern Indo-Aryan branch.
Okay.
And it's spoken in and around Bombay or Mumbai. Anyway, from what I remember, yeah. So in Marathi, you have a specific lack of, I'm going to say lack of contrast, like an innovated F phoneme from the aspirated P, but not from the other aspirated consonants. Whereas in Greek, for example, you have all of the aspirated series becoming fricatives.
Okay. Yeah, that's what George was posting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm looking. I think the Greek sad saksa I think that there's a modern Greek ones that may be from something similar. But anyway, I always get too distracted if I look at the comments when I'm doing this because I get all in my head.
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing that I am thinking about is basically that when we merge these, so there's going to be a merger in the stops.
Okay.
And most likely, if we want to keep the voice and we want to keep the tenuous, which is what's going to sound most strictly Italian, then you would merge aspirated with the tenuous.
Okay.
But so that's the kind of maybe the ultimate destination, right? That's the B, I guess. So the B would be a phonation shift where an aspirated consonant becomes a tenuous consonant. But these interact basically. So if we have this phonation shift before we do the spiritization, then then we lose this series that are more likely to become fricatives, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we want to do something, I think, to get. We said we wanted F. I think V would be nice as well,
Yeah.
although V is more complicated. So I mean, it doesn't really have to be. So the a natural origin would be from B, basically.
Mhm.
But I think we might also want B in some places as well,
Okay.
which means that a good thing would be to condition. So if I say that, do you know what I'm referring to? You have
Um,
that in like programming, right?
I have what?
In programming, you have conditions.
Yeah, like if X then Y or
Yeah,
if it meets this whatever. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So basically, that principle applied to sound changes. So you'd say something along the lines of B, and you basically want a situation that means something along the lines of where it is weak. And do you remember this notation? So everything that's after the forward slash is our environment.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
And we're going to send it to a V, which isn't the bilabial. They're slightly different in position, but this is the stronger version.
Okay.
So it will naturally, well, it doesn't have to. You don't have to go to a labiodental. But I think if I asked you to distinguish between v and v, would you? I think they probably sound quite similar to you.
I can hear the difference. I think those sounded pretty different to me actually.
V and v, about
Less so
and
that time, but yeah.
no, it's also just kind of I don't know. Huh.
I think I can like I think this one makes sense.
Okay.
Also, that's helpful, Miles. Sound changes are logic. I got logic. There's hope for us yet.
To Ya's comment, in Vietnamese, the one that stayed strongest is the I'm gonna say alveolar. I think it's alveolar, or it might be dental. I'm gonna like very quickly double check because basically in a lot of Southeast Asian languages, yes. So the they have this thing where the unaspirated, like the tenuous and aspirated stops in Vietnamese are dental, but the implosive is alveolar. And that distinction is unusual most places, but it's common in this particular language area. It's a areal feature. Um, but the aspirated um, the aspirated series in Middle Vietnamese, which was Pat Ha. I think I should open the Middle Vietnamese page as well because I only really am familiar with the modern one. But basically, so yeah, Middle Vietnamese had a P, aspirated P, Pa, aspirated dental T, Ta, and aspirated K, Ka,
Okay.
which is written PHTHKH. But in modern Hanoi Vietnamese, it's, well, all of the PHs become Fs, all of the THs stay Ta, and the K H varies, I think, dialectically. In some places, it's a and I think in some places it's still a K sound, like a stop, but not 100%.
Mm.
Anyway, so I think that if we spirantize the aspirated stops,
Mm.
Tinglish is saying, you would basically be able to merge the other things elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Also, I'm not feeling particularly beholden to making it sound exactly like Italian.
Yeah,
One
no, we
thing
definitely
I'm
don't need to.
thinking about is that we allow C R and also C L clusters, right?
Mm.
Um, and C R is fine, like in prezzo. I'm sure that is a real Italian word, but I'm double checking because we we use it. It's also a brand name here. Yeah, it means like price.
Okay.
Um, um,
Prick.
yeah, Branzino, prego. Yeah, so you get lots of PR, but if you think about what in Spanish we have as plaza or plaza,
Mm.
in Italian this becomes piazza, or is it piazzo? And I think they might be different things. Yeah, piazza. Um, so you can see that the L here becomes like I'll copy the IPA over.
Mm.
Um, so it becomes piazza.
Piazza. Yeah.
And that's from Latin, platea.
Okay.
So you can see that this L cluster becomes a J sound.
Yeah. I do like that. I think that's fun.
Well, we don't have to get rid of it if we don't want to. It's gonna sound more generically romance, I guess.
Then maybe we toss it.
Like I think unless it's particularly if we have a particular reason to do something, I think that's good. If
Yeah.
we don't, then I think that leaving things it depends how strongly you want to emulate Italian, basically.
I mean, I don't think I want to emulate it super strongly. Like, I don't want people, like, I would want people to see it and be like, it has a vibe to it. You know what I mean? But I don't want people to look at it and be like, ah, yes, this is Italian like. And then
But
they make
also,
assumptions based off that. You know what I mean?
we can fiddle with the romanization so that it looks how you want. But if
Mm.
we were going with David's style of romanization, then we would spell piazza like this,
Okay.
which I don't think looks Italian at all.
No, but I definitely do lean towards like, I think I will lean towards more correctly pronounceable spellings or romanizations than vibing
Yeah, because
romanizations.
if we're going to have Z as well, we don't want to be spelling a word that should sound like casa
Mm.
as Gaza
Yeah. I would
when
agree with
we
that.
could spell it just as Gaza.
Yeah. Whatever gets you to sound out the right words the bestest is good.
Well, I I think I think that that's a difficult one because if you wanted someone to know that it was supposed to sound like Italian, doing anyway,
Mm.
far too early to be talking about romanization anyway.
That's true.
We
That's
should
true.
leave that till the end.
Okay.
But okay, basically the last sound change that I want to talk about is David's old dead consonant trick.
Okay.
Is that from the name, or is it from something in the comments I should
The
be
name. The
checking?
name.
Okay. Is there a joke there that I am not, because I don't know what the reference is. I just sounds old timey, right?
I mean, yeah, I just think it's I don't know. It just sounds random and like, well, let's like I'm assuming I have no idea what this actually is, but my assumption is like, oh, let's bring back to life something that used to exist here so we can just pretendsies or something like that. That's like initially where my brain went is some kind of like I don't know. I don't know. I just think it's funny. Yeah, yeah.
So it's actually the opposite of bringing back to life.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine too.
It's it's basically you create something new in order to destroy it for artistic purposes.
Okay. I like it. Sorry, this time I'm laughing at Miles. Or like the destruction for the art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like that. So we could just nuke things if we want to get rid of them.
Well, so from David's perspective,
Mm-hmm.
oh, also, now that you're saying that these people are from, I'm sorry, I feel like every video, I keep trying to pin you down on how old this country is.
And I'm just like,
I'm just like, tell me what they know. Like, if they arrived with a writing system,
yeah.
I guess the kind of, it's not a real issue. The thing that would be funny about that would be that if you said that they liked writing things in an old style across the region, then you could end up with people with words that are written the same, but they wouldn't have any idea how to pronounce them if someone else wrote it down.
Right.
Uh,
I
um,
can see it.
like you get stories about I think often they were Buddhists who they would travel, either Chinese, I think it was usually Japanese Buddhists who go to China to like gain the sacred texts, and they arrive and they don't know any Chinese, and so they just have conversations by writing the characters down, and the Chinese monks can read the characters even though they don't understand what they're hearing.
That's kind of cool.
Um, so in theory, like you could have one of those interaction lines that would being drawn, where you have two groups who are particularly conservative with their writing, communicating with each other via writing without having any idea of like what the other person is actually saying.
That would be fun. Would that work? That's more of like having less of an alphabet style, right? Or would that still be possible if they hadn't, not that it really matters per se what they have right now, but
And to Belvilliers' point, that's not true for metal workers in Nigeria or in South America.
Mm.
Um, I think that it's quite easy to it's easy to think that the way that things went in our timeline, it's a useful model to have to say, oh, it's like X point in history. But
Mm.
we can imagine quite easily that some discovery isn't made by some person, and like, I don't know, someone accidentally tramples Archimedes with a horse, and like as a child, and we lose a whole set of discoveries in the Western canon. I mean, obviously, someone else. And we mostly learned stuff from the Arabic cultures anyway, and then we were like, "Oh, the Greeks were great, weren't they?" When we completely, well, we didn't completely figure everything, but we did have to relearn it from their translations.
Mhm.
Anyway, um, like basically what I'm trying to say is, for every example, or like you may have 5 examples of one thing, and there will be more examples of the other.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, so I
so
mean, I would work under the assumption that they probably had
okay,
a
I'm going to
writing.
explain the consonant trick.
Yes. That
Wait,
was
sorry,
where we
sorry,
were.
sorry. Initial culture bit. I'm going to write it out, and
Okay.
then okay. So basically, um, what you do is so we already have this voicing distinction.
Okay.
But we say we want to. This is like the opposite order to what we have, but I think it is useful in terms of knowing what was going to be interesting.
Okay.
So what you do is you introduce a series with a contradicting rule.
Okay.
So for example, you say like I think it's the example David uses is almost always with voicing, which I think is why I'm thinking about it.
Mhm.
Um, or lenition, basically any kind of lenition. You have either one that is strong. You either add a strong one, um, which stays strong when the regular series is weakened, or you add you in theory you could add a weaker version, which which is lost more easily. I think would also have the same effect. But basically, like if we say that you have like kappa, kaba, and kappa, then
Okay.
you have, I don't want to say copper, you basically have a series where we could argue that the P voices, so you would get kaba, um, then kaba would stay kaba, and um, kafa, or I don't know why, the kappa. Also, I'm using a romanized form. I probably could go back and add it because we do have. It would be licit to say it was kappa,
Okay.
although we're going to have a rule that cleans that up, which I guess I'll write up here. So consonant H clean up rule. And this could stay kappa, but then merge, so it's kappa.
Okay.
And then I just had a thought, which was that if B, in theory, you could have a chain where you have your aspirated series, your tenuous series, your voiced series, and the and the fricative. So you have B weakens to V, and then you'd have to work backwards, basically. So your step one would be that you would have this lanite. Then you would have, I think this is getting more confusing than it has to be. 2, you would have P voice to B, which is like this step here. And then you could have your aspirated series merge with, or just lose its aspiration. No, it is the same word. Saying lose its aspiration makes it sound like it decided to like lose its hopes and dreams. I don't think this is the easy way. Like, I should just rewrite it in a series. So, and then you have P, B, and then your aspirated P, like this sort of thing.
Right.
Which would mean that we would have we would get our V. We'd basically get a whole voice series of fricatives at every place, which, to be honest, might be quite a lot for us then to deal with. But I think it could be fun.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is how does this whole thing feel?
I feel like I get it theoretically.
Mm-hmm.
I think I will understand it better once we do a thing. And then I'll be like, ah, yes, cemented in the memory until I forget it in a week. You know what I mean?
Okay. So let's grab some forms. These are all, yeah, we'll do the weather words. So,
oh, also, not to distract you,
mm-hmm.
but before the end of the stream today, we should make sure we have decided what our seed-laying word is. Or I could always do this later, but
For rock?
Yeah.
I've got that in the back of my mind, just like it's coming. I know.
I have to like wrap back around to it.
I know you know, and anyone else who's in the Let's Have a Booba Discord will know that basically I tried to like, I ended up reading most of a dictionary of, I think it was, oh, this is embarrassing. I've forgotten the name of the language now. It wasn't Kapanawa. It was a Panoan language that one of my lecturers had done the dictionary for. And I was trying to find words basically just for like rock names because I wanted them to be kind of ones that would make sense. If that
Okay.
makes, I think it was Kakataibo. Um,
Okay.
um, and I got like more than halfway through, and there was not a single word for rock, and I was just like, oh, and I think that it may be just because when you're writing these dictionaries, you only have the words that were um, um, like um, I'm trying to think like the words that are elicited. So,
Mhm.
so basically, they're trying to make lists of words that are useful for comparison, and like a lot of words for animals and plants and verbs come up, but people aren't. We don't have a lot of recorded words for rocks in these languages. And I checked a database, and the languages that had any distinctions in the words they used for rocks were all actually quite far in the Andes.
Oh.
And I think it's just that they had more kinds of rock that they needed to distinguish, which it sounds a bit Whorfian, and I don't want to go that direction because I'm sure that they know that there are different kinds of rock, and they would probably use adjectives to distinguish them, basically.
Mhm. I mean, it
But
makes sense.
in terms of actually having distinct words for kinds of rocks, then that was two. Two was the number of distinctions I found. I was like, oh, I wonder if there's a word for. Do you still just call it nice or nice?
I avoid pronouncing it out loud as much as possible.
I'm
Or
sure
niece. I've heard niece or
it's
nice.
nice. Yeah, nice.
I
Because
think I would
English.
remember from my lectures, but
Oh, and Miles is referring to. I probably have it here. In yeah, I have a book of queer Arabic slang. Yeah,
yes, George. That's the word that we were trying to figure out how to pronounce.
yeah. Okay, so
Yes.
gubiho. I'm
Mm.
trying to remember. So our first rule was affrication,
Mhm.
which doesn't apply here. So I'm gonna need my IPA keyboard for this, and
This
I
is
hope
kind of
you're
getting
ready.
fun.
And I do not remember where. Okay, here we go. So the u, the ho would be the first stage, and then at that point there aren't any more stops, so we can stop basically.
Okay.
Um, so we have, in theory, if we go to the top, we don't have a distinction per se. We have an allophonic variation between our stops and sibilant affricates. So that's between ta and sa, ta and sa, and da and za.
Mhm.
Um, I think that we would be fine if we did want to say this was guzo, or and I don't know how this comes out. I don't know how to do it. I'm just gonna carry on. Or it could be I'll use a slash. Gu gudo 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 gu gudo. Oh, I hadn't said this initial one. It doesn't have to do this. So basically, that would just mean that we add a condition. So it's more common for these voiced stops to become fricatives between vowels.
Mm.
So if we
Okay.
apply that rule, then this would stay guzo or guzo, and this would be guviho.
Okay.
Although I did like the idea of the B to V. Like we could
Mhm.
even have like the special rule for F. You could have well in Spanish you know that like the B and the V have basically become one phoneme.
Mhm.
Um, that's written two ways, and in Spanish initially it's always outside of, if you have contact with other languages sometimes it's not true, but it's almost always pronounced B when it's at the start. I think that's the one.
Okay.
I hate this keyboard.
I mean, you definitely have B's at the start of words, like that sounds.
Well, like if it's curious, so bato would be I beat,
Mm.
I think, from batir.
Mm.
Bato in Mexican Spanish, I think it just means like a guy or a man.
Okay.
Um, and you can see this is written with a V, and this is written with a B, but these are pronounced exactly the same.
Mhm.
Um, and it's just based on spelling conventions.
Right. That makes sense.
Um, and I'm trying to remember if labo is a word. But there will be some word at least which distinguishes a vowel B and vowel B. And these are also the same.
Mhm.
Um, but they are pronounced somewhere between the two, basically.
Okay.
And it's just based on spelling conventions for the most part. So no, so this would become Navaru, and this would become Hu, and this would become Higa.
Mhm.
But well, this would be like if you if you wanted to distinguish these two in this position between vowels.
Mhm.
If you wanted to keep more unvoiced stops or tenuous stops voiceless in that position, you don't have to do this um, second part, basically. Although it means that you wouldn't have, if you do the first rule, so where did I write, where's the bit where I wrote
Cool. Those?
them? I don't think I wrote them out properly. So the first one we're describing is a voiced stop lenition. Oh, yeah, here. Um, which looks like that.
Okay.
The second one we're talking about is a tenuous stop voicing. And this last one would be a I did name them at some point. Or maybe I just said it out loud and then didn't write it out. And then this would be like a explanation. It's annoying. Basically, tenuous is usually like the least marked form. So it's kind of it's what you get when you take away the laryngeal settings.
Okay.
It's more usual cross-linguistically for these settings to be in certain positions, and when you lose them, things will reduce typically to a tenuous stop, if I'm getting that right.
Okay.
All my books. I only have these books behind me because I don't have anywhere else to put books. These are when I say all my books, these are almost literally all my books. Like I don't have other storage for them, which has been a point of contention because I have asked to be able to put my books in other places, and I have been told no.
Oh no.
Well, it's to stop me just accumulating 1,000 of them, basically. Because I have a small library at this point. And then we have Adjdo. Adjdo, I think, should be the next form that we talk about. But so are we? I think the second step is what I'm most. I'm not entirely convinced by. I think this bit is interesting. It's one of these things where if you know what you want, like if we said, oh, we really want an F and a V in this language, right? We could have started with an F and a V and just have roots with F's and V's and say, isn't this lovely? But then it means that when you get to the Korean style one, you then have to get rid of the F and the V.
Yeah.
I think part of it is just that I think that like I'm trying to explain stuff, and I feel like the more time you spend debating whether or not to do something, the more you feel like, well, I've explained it now. Let's just go with it.
Yeah. I mean, especially for some of these like early ones, I mean, I feel like that's fine. Like we'll get somewhere. We'll get to something. You know what I mean?
I think that we go with it for now.
Okay.
So we've got like an hour left.
Yes.
Do you want to get the rock word out of the way?
Sure, we can do that. Also, hello, Nemo.
So one thing is, did I correct this? Very fun. Do we have a yeah in this language?
You're not talking about the daughter, right?
No.
Um,
Yes, we do.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, I did want to talk about stress, maybe.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna copy these. I don't love all of them, but I think that that's a good thing to talk about. So I know that you, at somewhere, you have like a big file with just a bunch of um, um, forms in.
Oh, the thing that I copied out of, what was it, like, not Lexergy, or maybe it was Lexergy or something.
Lexify?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. So, like, oh, there is a bunch of rules that I wanted to say we don't allow, and
Okay.
it hasn't obeyed them. So, I'm gonna just double check these. Because I'm like, why is there's two L's there because of reasons. Unclear. We liked RH, didn't we? We're gonna do something with RH.
Yeah, I think so. That sounds familiar.
Okay, cool. A lot of these are very bulky.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at learn ball,
Yeah.
um,
Learnable.
and I do want to check because up here I'd said consonant is an obstruent, so that would mean that we wouldn't have series where you have a nasal followed by R or L.
Okay.
I don't think that is a bad distinction. It would mean that we don't have morm. It would be, we could either make it could morm or could mon. I think could mon because it sounds like cardamom.
Yeah, I like that.
Lolot, clear. Irregular. Oh, it's this one. This wouldn't be allowed. So, do you prefer irplar or irpjar?
First one.
Irplar. Okay, so I want you to try. Well, do you want me to put them in IPA and then you can try, or do you want to try doing it from the semi-romanized?
I can try semi-romanize, and then if you decide it is
Okay,
not good, you can try a PA, and then we can decide that's not good, and then you can cry.
cool.
Mm-hmm. So the first one.
Sorry, these should also be included.
Oh yeah.
I'll make them all 24.
Okay. So I mean, the first one we kind of already said, but that's just like Lone Bull.
There shouldn't
Right?
be an RN. That's what. So, do you prefer Lerbol or Linbol?
Lone Bull. Lone Bull.
Lerbol. Cool.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Lolga.
Yeah, Lolga.
Lolga. Okay. Ulcers.
Ulcers.
Ulcers. The lazy E or whatever it's actually called. The before the R is a weird sound.
Well, I don't know. I think it sounds weird in English.
Yeah.
I think it's not unusual in Indonesian. from what
Okay.
I'm aware of.
Yeah. It's fine. I'm just like I was like trying to okay, so Yurlock?
Yurloch.
Yurloch.
Remember
Okay.
that we're using j, ch, and j, ch, and ch, j, ch, ch.
Okay. Okay.
So it's the same relationship as da, ta, and ta.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
So
So
Yurloch.
Yurloch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then that's we're it's the like slightly trilled R's that I can't really do, so it's
Mm-hmm.
Ralor?
Yeah, Ralor.
Ralor?
Well, I can't really trill my R's either, so don't.
Ralor. I can only do it if I do like 8 of them.
Oh, and I just realized, okay, you're gonna do this better than I did. I promise.
Okay. Tedmum?
Yes, Chudmum.
Tedmum. Ha!
I was saying it like Cudmum because I am English and I see a C and I think, oh, this is K. No.
I mean, that's my first assumption until you
Yeah.
corrected me, but yeah.
I didn't correct you. I just told you that you were gonna do it better than me.
Well, no, I said your lock. I ended with a K instead of the
Yeah.
T. Yeah,
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 that's true.
yeah.
We can be bad at this together.
Perfect. Oh, good company. All
Mm-hmm.
right, so and is that the IPAI that's like the
Yes. It's like the
E?
Spanish I.
E? So Lirdel?
Yeah, Lirdel. Lirdel.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I just want you to know I'm very proud of myself right now. This is
You're
going way
doing
better than
really
I thought it
well.
would.
Considering that this is just something that I made up to try and spell stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. To lock.
Remember?
Lock. Locked.
Tlaloch.
To locked.
Yeah.
To locked. To locked. Okay.
I feel like that was going a little bit British.
Oh no. Oh no.
I think it's because it sounds like a non-rhotic English because
Oh.
it's got the schwa there,
Uh-huh.
like tlaloch.
To locked. Yeah, it does. It does. Okay.
The final ch sounds are reminding me of there's a so people love to say that Quechua is the language of the Inca, and
Okay.
it's true that it's the language of the Inca Empire. But there were many other languages spoken in the region as well.
Okay.
One is Pukina. So Pukina was the language that the Incas actually spoke between themselves, and it wasn't well recorded because it was used more in private, and most people learned Quechua. And then I realized that I thought it was Pekina that I was trying to think of, but no, it was Chimu. So there's a song called La Tonada del Chimu, which is a song that had some of the. I don't think it's. We don't have very many recordings of the language that they spoke, as far as I remember. And by recordings, I mean like written down, because I think the language went extinct, or it. I think extinct is the right word. The last speakers were they died before, I think, probably modern linguistics. But this song contains some words, and a lot of them end in ch. And so when I hear like the och sounds, I think of chimu. I don't actually think chimu is the right word for the language. I think, oh yeah, machika. Yeah, because chimu was the city, but yeah.
I do like Tlaloch. I do like it.
Uh-huh.
It's fun.
To George's question, wasn't Quechua an existing lingua franca they co-opted? It's complicated because Quechua was there was a smaller area of Quechua speakers that already existed before the expansion of the Inca Empire, but is from the Wari. But Aymara was used as a religious language with a similarly wide spread before this as well. And Quechua and Aymara together was used in quite a few areas. So basically you had the emergence of this kind of polity, and they would use Quechua-speaking settlers to settle places that didn't speak these languages either. And so, like, basically, the Quechua that they speak in Ecuador is from these Mitimais, which are like these Quechua-speaking settlements that were further north. And that's also how Quechua expanded into Argentina. And then the Spanish co-opted it as well. So there was a period of the Spanish Empire that was administered in Peru using Quechua and Aymara with the native people, because they believed it would be easier for them to learn it than Spanish, which I don't know how true it is or not. Anyway, this one I'm not going to make you try and read because I think it's kind of cursed.
I've been like practicing it under my breath.
I want to hear it. I believe in you.
The closest I've been able to get is agflir, but that's not right.
It would be something like agflir.
Yeah, the like is the hard part. Like like getting that into an L is like.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we could do something interesting with that sequence.
Okay.
I want so. Okay, and the last one.
Irplar?
Yeah. Irplar.
Irplar.
The thing that would make this easier to do would be to have a stress rule.
Okay.
So this one I'm going to look into because I don't know if there is a usual rule other than if you ended up having it devoice the L, but that would basically just make it and now I have to go back to my IPA keyboard. Is it gonna let me do it? Yeah, this one. Do you not remember what this one sounds like?
So
This is the and it's related to the sound in the word now.
now what?
So in English, you can call it nawato or nawat,
Okay.
but in nawat, I think it's nawat.
Know what?
So don't worry about it. If we're not going there, then we don't need you to be able to say it.
Okay.
um,
Is that what Tinguish said?
but this will often become sh.
Sh. I can do a
So,
sh.
well, it would mean that like what's currently pla would become sha, which I think is fun,
Ag,
but it's very not Italian.
ag, 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 ag,
Sha.
fear. I was looking at the other one above. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Oh, which one? This one.
I was trying to place it up above in the actual word we had.
Oh,
Just poorly, you know.
it would be irpsha, irpshar, which it sounds very not Italian.
Mm-hmm. Well, but that's okay. Like we can have like a couple little weird things, right? I mean, it depends on how much we want it to like, you know.
I would say we should save this for another one.
Okay, let's do that. That makes sense because I do like it, and we'll use it somewhere.
I think that that's the sort of thing where if you had a dragon named Yupsha, people would love it.
That is a good name. Oops.
Okay. Notes. Other. So L to breathy L to sh. And then irpla. No, irplad to ir.
I like it.
Okay. This does lead me to I'm gonna show you one more sound change that I'm gonna get. I'll show the people at home. Basically, because anyone who's a linguist is it showing the right way or is it back to front?
No, that's good. That's right.
So it's advances in Proto-Basque reconstruction with evidence for the Proto-Indo-European Euskarian hypothesis. And basically, what it does is that you would you have it sounds kind of crackpot, but it's by Juliet Blevins. She's like well respected in the historical linguistic community, and it was published by Routledge. Like, and I know Routledge. Like, you can see from people in the comments that this it sounds bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, there's good reason for it, because if someone tries to tell you that there are links between Basque and another language family, for a very long time, it's been complete nutters who have been suggesting it. But I promise that this makes good. It makes sense and it's good.
Okay.
And this isn't the whole theory, but the sound change is basically that I'm trying to find the exact structure now. You have a shift in the fricatives where the I think it's confusing me because it's written in a mixture of Basque orthography and IPA.
Okay.
But they have the rule where S becomes TS and Z for our purposes also becomes TS.
Okay.
But they are differentiated in here by laminality. So laminal, like by basically the tongue shape.
Okay.
So for us, it doesn't really matter. I should have prepared this better because basically, here we go. I think this is it. I'm trying to remember. I thought there was some rule where if you had R followed by a consonant, then it became the TS or something along those lines. And now I can't find it.
Okay.
And I'm seeing like there's one rule that's like RTZ is becoming ST, which I think the whole thing is messing with me, and I should have prepared more beforehand.
It's okay.
And also, I think that it may... No, this is the end. Yeah. I will get back to you because it was basically going to be a way to get more clustery things.
Okay.
Which I thought would be nice, but I think it's being more confusing than I thought. So I feel like I'm just going slightly insane right now. So let's not worry about that.
Okay.
The other thing to remind us with the pla is that currently our rules would render any pla as just blah.
Okay.
So we would not have this surviving our current set of rules.
That's fair. That's fair.
And so I personally wouldn't be too worried, is what I will say. Should we just make some words?
Let's do it.
Okay. How do you feel about these forms? Because I can also tweak stuff.
I do like them, and I feel like we could also, if we wanted shorter versions, we could just grab pieces of them if we wanted to.
Like, I'm like LARP.
Lower. I mean, it vibes. It does. It does.
Or bol. You that would be
Bol.
the two options. It would be either
Well, I like for that one. I kind of like the full word lerbal. I feel like it feels, you know, even though it's a lot of letters, I feel like it's fairly short and sweet to say, you know.
well, it's basically that some languages distinguish heavy versus light syllables,
Okay.
and where heavy basically would either be a long vowel, which we don't allow, or a coda consonant.
Okay.
So this would be considered to be too heavy syllables, but our approximants are kind of lighter, or we let them show up in combination with other things.
Okay.
So there isn't a there basically isn't a they shouldn't really be treated as being as heavy as the other stuff.
Okay.
It's showing up a lot because at the moment there is an equal chance of having a R or an L as any other consonant. No, it's not equal. Like, I mean, it's kind of, there is an equal chance of one of these showing up as one of these,
Okay.
which is why there's so many of them. So if you want to trim an R or an L, I wouldn't judge you at all.
Okay. Okay.
The only thing I would judge you for is if you wanted this to mean tree, because it would sound so close to el árbol.
Oh yeah. No.
No. Okay.
So okay. So for because we're gonna name some rocks real quick, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So two of the ones that I know I want to have.
Okay.
Which are, I mean, they count, right? I want a word for jade, and I want a word for amber, and then also I want like a standard metamorphic rock or two at least. And then for the other ones, like we could just vibe and see where it goes. Probably have a word for something heavily iron containing, probably. Yeah. Yeah, they don't need to like we can have them be like specific rocks, but
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Like hematite?
Sure. I mean, like there's a lot of options. You know what I mean? I'm not sure exactly what would be the most likely to not be lost entirely, like what would be worth naming, because I haven't, this may surprise you. I have not considered the rock cycle implications of the main rocks of Pillar World. Like I assume like at least on the surface it's just, you know, your basic rocks, whatever was there before, but obviously you get into like the main rock like thing that composes the pillars would probably be something that's like, I don't know, probably a pretty extreme metamorphic rock, but like for the sake of hand waviness, we'll probably want to make something that's like we don't ever specifically ascribe to a like earth rock, you know, like it's a magic fantasy rock. Ooh, you know what I mean? That kind of vibe. These people are Iron Age. So we're having them, they're like, yes, they are Iron Age. Yes. They could definitely have some, because we're having it like around 1000 before and 1000 after Common Era, I think is when we were pulling them. So like we've got some mining, you know, we can move past just meteorite rocks, you know.
Okay. Do you want to give me some examples of standard metamorphic rocks?
Okay, well, actually, okay, let me look up what they would have had in what would have been standard here if I'm using this. I mean, yeah, I don't know if they would have had that. Uh, yeah, I mean, like, okay, like a green chest could be fine. We could go with no, I don't like that. I'm streaming. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they probably would have some type of slate and schist. That's all pretty standard. I don't know if like I can't decide if I want to get into like a marble or anything like that.
Okay, slate and marble, I know. How do you spell schist?
Schist.
Okay. Schist. Cool.
Yeah. Those are all like some examples. Like I feel like slate's pretty common in a lot of places. Like these are pretty common. You definitely get into that.
Mm-hmm.
Would we do? I mean, would that be common here? No. We won't do that one. That's a fine set to start.
Okay. Are any of these calling out to you? Because I feel like I tend, and also from what you showed me, I would tend to think that you would prefer them if the consonants are a bit less clustered together.
Probably.
Which means that like you could also say that like this would be like uloch, for example, or this could be. I feel like we liked chudmum.
Yeah, I do like that one. That one needs to say.
Okay. What do you want chudmum to be? It doesn't. We don't have to claim it as a stone word. We could just make it like
something.
Something.
What would be fun? I mean, it could be a stone word, but I'm trying to think. What else haven't we named that would be good for Kidmom? Because I do like that. No.
Also, I feel like Tlaloch is too iconic now.
Yeah.
Like, I think we need to make. Whereas this is horrible. But I think like we already have up, don't we? Or am I misremembering?
For tower.
Yes, it's tower. So we aren't using it for that. So I guess we'll do ag.
Where are you right now?
I'm here.
Okay.
Also, I think I'm gonna be doing this a lot, but because of my accent, I think I'm just like trying to say the final R's and really struggling. I do like Ulcers. I feel like Ulcers is an interesting one.
Yeah.
Yoloch is interesting. Although I like Uloch as well.
Uloch, yeah. I'm trying to decide if Uloch would be good for amber.
There's no reason why it wouldn't be good.
I think it vibes. Okay, let's go with that.
And the other thing is that they might have a root for it, but if you didn't like how the root came out in another branch, like, to be fair, Uloch is not, there's no way this survives as Uloch into the, like, most likely it will become like Ulocho or something. Or that would just be with a copy vowel, or Ulocha, Ulochi.
Yeah, something. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we'll start with Uloch
we can
for amber.
always make things sound different as well.
Let's go. Oh, that like capitalized it.
Yeah.
Let's go with J. Oh no, hold on.
It's fine. We deal with this it's just that British keyboards trigger a different quote mark than American ones. It's absolutely terrible. We will survive.
Yeah.
If you do double, I think it's different as well for us. I think you would, yeah.
Okay.
I can rewrite these for you if you want.
Yes, for consistency.
Okay.
Let's go.
I remember this is lead, not lid.
Lead. Yeah, lead.
Also, if you didn't want it so heavy, you could make it stors or ulsa, or I feel like it's leaning more toward ulsa, which I don't want.
No.
Although these are the kind of rules that like you'll make, and then when we have all of the sound changes, like you'll make words that sound very funny to justify modern words that don't sound funny. Einstein, nice words to describe these things. I think it's cute.
Yeah. With like assault. It would be fun. Oh, which one would that be? I don't know if they would have this.
What?
But I do like greenstone.
Like Pornamu.
What?
Pornamu is, I think, the Maori word for it.
Oh, for greenstone?
The thing is, I think that there may well be different. Okay. Oh, Pornamu is a nephrite jade.
Ah, okay.
Whereas this greenstone is
very different.
Is it green schist?
So, I mean, no, so greenstone is like a type of rock.
Okay, I'm on the Wikipedia redirect page for greenstone, and under geology, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entries that all are referred to as greenstone. One of which is Pornamu, which is the New Zealand one that's jade.
Okay.
So I'm trying to work out which one you mean.
Actually, it probably is green schist. Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Wait, there's also schistosity. These are so many great words that I didn't know before.
Yeah. So it'll be specifically that one.
Okay.
Ooh, we should do obsidian. Oh, did we? I feel like. Did we already have obsidian? We did. So we do have obsidian. And we do technically have iron and copper, but I would think those are less like the rock forms and more like, what you're making. Piparku or something like that. So we do have one.
Now I'm wondering that when you say that something's like around 0 BC or like AD or Common Era, I'm then thinking like how many kinds of rock are referred to in the Bible? Like how many words did they feel they needed? Like, because I know that there are like gardens with all of the plants, but I'm like, how many geologists are like, how many?
Yeah, I mean, so they'd have like the ones that I was thinking about, right, for this, right? Because jade and amber would have specific names, right? Because they'd probably be used for like decorative purposes or like, we had talked on the economy stream about maybe making some form of currency out of jade or something. Like those are like distinct things, right? Things like your ironstone, like it makes sense for them to have specific words for things maybe that they're mining iron from potentially. Although I don't know if they'd actually so like that could make sense. And then like, I don't know, maybe greenstone probably makes less sense, but I do like that one. But like something that I think they would have practical reason to use and distinguish would make reasonable sense for them to have words for, but then they could probably just use like descriptive words for them, but I do like me some rocks, so.
Okay, I did a Google search. It turns out that there are loads of stones that are mentioned in the Bible.
Yeah.
Especially gemstones. So having yeah, there's always jewelry. But I think that's also could be that I think that it's easier to sell people. They're like, oh, this gemstone is mentioned in the Bible, you should buy it. Whereas no one's going to be like, oh, they mentioned limestone in the Bible, you should wear some limestone on yourself.
I mean, limestone's a good one. Like, that's a good,
Although are we going with no sedimentary?
We could do sedimentary. Limestone would be a good one. We could do limestone. We could do sandstone. Those are kind of our big hitters there. This could be sandstone. Oh no, that looks weird big.
You got the capital schwa.
Oh, I don't like the capital schwa.
Will just be to, yeah.
Let's do lime.
Basically, all you have to do is press backspace as soon as it capitalizes, and you're fine.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like in terms of like sharing purposes, like the amber and the jade are going to be the most prevalent because I think I know how this word could get used in some of the languages. Like I have an idea for that. But I know there's definitely going to be jade. For sure. But I mean, I feel like this is probably enough. And I feel like maybe we save these for other words because they're so good. Or we could decide what they're going to be now.
Well, I feel like I don't want to make it like just mean cardamom because that would be too obvious. But I feel like if you have an idea of like what a seasoning would be, we can because we're gonna most likely it's never going to start with K. It will always start with ch. So
okay, let me pull up my spec bio page and scroll down to my notes on.
I just had a terrible visual of it becoming sad, Mom.
No.
Because in Tamil, the initial actually it didn't happen at the start of words, but this basically becomes a S in a lot.
Okay, so I think spice-wise, they're probably gonna have to bring it with them. Unless we go for something like,
I
I mean,
mean,
like, syrup
instead
or,
from
like
the lower levels, there are like so many of our spices are from tropical regions.
yeah. So we could go with, like, anything, really.
Oh, but actually, no, because these aren't from this area. But the, this is the original seasoning from home. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
also going to say it could just be salt.
Yeah, that's true.
Although
Salt
I
is
feel
gonna
like
be real interesting because it's gonna be, like, I don't know if they will really have salt or much salt at all.
wouldn't they all die?
Well, like, no?
Well,
Or
you would need like yeah, if you run out of salt in the blood, you will it's a serious problem.
well, yeah, but I'm just thinking, like, would they then die the fact that there's not gonna be a lot of, like, the geography isn't gonna allow for a lot of accumulation of salt?
Um, yeah, if they can mine at all and there is rock salt, then it also that salts will build up in other things, but
Yeah.
people will like some of the earliest long trade routes that we have are salt.
Yeah.
Um, like from across the Sahara or in Rome. Um, um, like yeah, like I assume that like people eat too much salt now,
Mhm.
but like yeah, when you go to the history section of Wikipedia's salt article, it opens all through history the availability of salt has been pivotal to civilization.
Mm.
like,
Yeah, 'cause
um,
it's like when you think about it, like, they're not gonna have large salt flats for the most part on, like, I mean, it's not to say they could not exist on a pillar somewhere, right? But, like, you're largely not gonna find that, and you're largely not gonna find dried up lakes or anything like that. Because again, there are few places that might be slightly deserty, but for the most part, most of these pillars are gonna be pretty tropical, uh, and very wet. So, I mean, I'm sure there will be some areas that would have more, but, like, the ones that we've started mapping out so far, I don't think they'd have much, like, rock salt anywhere. Is this a problem?
uh, like maybe.
Like, I mean, like, people lived in the rainforest. Did they mine salt? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think
I
they're
mean,
okay.
the as as a like people can survive with very low salt. That's true. Um, but I would what I would say is that whoever finds the source of salt first is going to make a lot of money. Like,
Yeah. I'll have
and
to think about that and see if I can introduce some kind of mechanism for the salt to form.
the salt dragon just
Their whole job is they swim down to the ocean and gather up the salt, or not even the ocean, but, like, I mean, maybe they could get some from in there, but, like,
well,
oh, artificial ponds. Okay, we could do that, Nemo. That could work for salt. Like, they and I guess if these people come from a place where they know about salt, right? Like they would be very familiar with salt as a thing they want and need and would be used to. So the fact that they would, in various ways, come up with mechanisms for acquiring salt could make sense. And also, they're from a place where they'd probably have to semi. Yeah, let's go with something like that. That they have some of that maybe backing technology there so that they can have salt. So let's pick a word for salt.
Oh, are we going with chudmum?
I think that's a good word.
Or we could simplify it a bit. Like chudma or chumum or
Chudma?
chudma?
Chudma. Yeah. That'd be trying to figure out where to put it. Terrain feasters?
We can just leave it in this list of rocks because it is a rock.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's less controversial than ice that salt is a
I was about to say we could do ice.
the saltiest live stream that we've ever done.
Although, do we already have?
This is actually the vowel pattern. You know Padma Lakshmi. I know Padma Lakshmi because she's an icon. I'm realizing that it may not be entirely if you don't like cooking shows.
The first thing that pops in my head is like a Star Wars character.
No, this is a Indian American woman.
Okay, not
Anyway.
Star Wars. Got it.
Anyway, her first name in Tamil is pronounced Padma, which is not that far off the pattern of Chudma.
That's what I was thinking, Nemo. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah. Anyway, when I see Udma, that's what I think of. But again, like I imagine it will become something like Chamma. Or
That is fun.
I don't know. Like we're gonna get Geminate at some point. But I'm gonna leave that for two weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks from now. Which, I mean, that's kind of a perfect transition. Look at all of our rock words. We're ready for KopiCon rocks.
Well, I need to collate my rock words before I go. I have so much to do. And yeah.
Well, yeah. I have a bunch of airport and flight time to occupy myself with, although I do hope to sleep for some of that. But I am essentially going to be landing at like 1:30 a.m. my usual time, so.
Cool.
All right. Well, I think.
Chunda. Nemo is saying that in Hindi, Chunda is the word for moon. Chunda.
I like that.
Although I don't know, I assume it's dental because it's not been written with a retroflex.
Okay.
I feel like I should know moon, but I don't know why I would have. I don't think I've done that bit of Duolingo yet. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I feel like this is probably a good wrap-up point. So, yeah, 2 weeks from now, we're doing the thing. Is there going to be boba tomorrow?
Yes, there's going to be Let's Have a Booba tomorrow.
Okay.
Which I definitely have time for.
Yes. And then you all should definitely watch Thursday's Langtime Studio stream that's at a different time than usual.
It's going to be really early for a lot of America.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Listen while you work. It's fine. Multitask.
Yeah.
No excuses. Cancel your meetings. Take a sick day.
I might need to tomorrow, to be honest.
I mean, If you got them.
Well, I feel like at the point that you've admitted to that on this stream, it's a bit risky to be.
Yeah, but just
I
think,
don't
all the
think
stress and
it's
anxiety is a really good way to make yourself sick. Pre-travel anxiety lowers the
actually,
immune
we are allowed
system.
to use it for anxiety, so maybe we'll
It
see.
sounds like you're there. You're ready. Oh. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody, we will see you all on the worldwide interwebs at a later date.
Yep.
Okay. Bye,
Bye.
everybody. End stream.